And I tell you this because myself, I've had so many different looks throughout the years. What is the best look as a high achiever man to attract women? I was watching a video by these two red pill guys, and they were talking about that nowadays most men are feminized, especially in the Western countries, and they wear these baggy clothes and they have this crazy hair and very skinny and they look very feminine, and that you should do total opposite. So look super alpha, super masculine, big beard, looking big always. Doesn't matter if you have a certain percentage of body fat or not. Just look big in your clothes, and always look serious as well. If you have tattoos, even better. So just like the stereotypical image of the guy who looks as masculine as possible or tries to, and the definition of masculinity that usually is thought to be as this warrior type. Okay, and look, I get where they're coming from, and I do see a bit of craziness going on in the Western world with guys just wearing crop tops and skirts and dresses. That's a bit too crazy for me, and I think for most normal people. But look, in this video, what I'm going to tell you is that the most important thing has nothing to do with your looks, especially looks that you can control. So there are certain things that, in terms of looks, that matter and have some relevance, but they're not things that you're going to control too much. So, of course, if you are very tall, then it's something generally positive. If you're very short, then in general, women prefer men who are a bit taller. Yes, of course, those preferences are there, but the 80% of results that you're going to get in this area are by things that have nothing to do with your looks. Maximum that they have to do with your health. So if you're somebody healthy, you're going to be able to attract and retain a woman who is healthy for the long term. But all the things like like the way that you style your hair or the way that you dress, it's not going to have a very big difference. And I tell you this because myself, I've had so many different looks throughout the years. So when I was starting out and approaching women, doing cold approach, I was a teenager, so no beard, just using gel on my hair and having just normal clothes and being super skinny. I was very, very skinny, like 15 kilos less than now, and now I'm quite lean with muscle, but I'm lean at this moment in time. But imagine 15 kilos less. So yes, and I would get results. Then I would grow a beard and I would still have results. And then I would shave my head in 2022 and going with the very, again, dangerous type of man, doing boxing, this and that. And actually, when I shaved my head, I was a bit like doubtful, like, oh my God, what's going to happen in terms of women? I mean, at that point, I already knew that I can attract women. I had been with many women before, but I always had this in the back of my mind, like, okay, this is a big change. Let's see what happens. And then I literally do some approaches and women are attracted. And in that moment, I got an amazing girlfriend with that look and she loved it. So, and right now I'm in a totally different look, like long hair. Right now I have it in a bun, but in other videos you're probably seeing it like until here, and clean shave and a bit more like normal, more not so dangerous. And I still attract women, and I met an amazing, exceptional woman with this look, and I'm with her. So the things that you can control, they're going to have a big difference. So just focus on the 80% that's going to give you the results. So what is this? This is the way that you meet women. So what do you actually do to meet them? If you don't do anything, if you just stay at home, it doesn't matter what look you have. You're not going to get any women. That's super basic. But even myself, I had like a break where after my previous relationship, I didn't want to meet anyone really. I wanted to have some time for myself and just focused on my other business and just training and being on my own. And surprise, surprise, I didn't have any opportunities with women. And it doesn't matter whether I had a shaved head or at some other point, another period where I was inactive, I had like longer hair. I didn't have any options with women. Why? Because I wasn't going out there and meeting them. So that's the like first step. Like many guys are watching this, and if I ask you how many women have you approached in person or even online, like how many women have you approached in general in the last 6 months? the number is going to be very low. So if you take low action, you're going to have low results. So that's the first thing. The second thing is what you do. So if you're depending on Tinder and on Instagram to attract women, and you don't have model looks or super high status to show, then yes, you're not going to have many options. But if you do cold approach, and this is the key, this is such a hack, this is such, treasure that, well, nowadays it's becoming a bit more normal, I would say, but still it's like super niche. The amount of guys who are able to see a woman that they like in a street, in a supermarket, in a mall, in a library, anywhere, and actually go out there and approach that woman is super low. And then the type of guys that do that and do that well and naturally is even lower. So it's such like a hidden treasure that is hiding in plain sight. Most guys would love to have better relationships. Most guys would love to be able to have pretty much unlimited options in their dating life. And it's like staring at them in their face every single day that they're out there in the city, but they just don't see it. If you're watching this video, you probably see it. And if you start doing cold approach instead of relying on online dating apps, just waiting for things to happen with your social circle, you just position yourself in such a way where it doesn't matter the type of look that you have. Of course, I tell my clients to just, put yourself together well. Like what I'm wearing now, I'm just wearing a Zara jersey and like some pants from, I think it was Hugo Boss, but nothing super fancy, nothing incredible, just something normal. And then, okay, just shave or don't shave, but have it a bit groomed, your beard and your hair the same. Just don't be looking crazy. Either have it long or go to the barber shop every few weeks. That's it. That's all you need to do. If you do that, that's everything you need to be covering in terms of your health. And then, of course, improving your health is going to be something that helps you in general with life. So I would recommend to do that as well. And there are some extreme cases where if you are super obese and you lose that fat and you actually gain muscle and get in shape, you are gonna see a massive difference. But also because women judge you on your discipline and on your life choices. And this is something that it might sound a bit harsh, but it is true. If a woman sees that you're super obese, like I'm talking about extremes, not just, oh, I have a little bit of fat here. No, if she sees that you are in some extreme, then she's gonna think, okay, why does this happen? What mindset things is he gonna lack? And she's not gonna be that prone to be attracted to you, first physically, and then secondly because of what it means if you're in that shape. And I understand, I'm not judging it at all. I'm just telling you how it usually is based on my experience and based on my experience with working with many clients. So if you get in shape and now you're super obese, you are going to feel a difference because it not only affects your looks, but also your energy and even the mindset that you have and what women perceive you as. So that's a bit of the final part in terms of looks. And then I'll tell you that there's also a difference between whether you want to attract a woman for a short term or for the long term. If you're doing like short term dating, then your looks is going to be even less important because the women are not going to think, okay, I need to introduce this guy to my parents and to my friends and family. They're just going to think, am I attracted to this man or not? I don't have to introduce him to my whole circle and make sure that he's super healthy and he looks good so that I look good as a result. No, they're just thinking, okay, I'm going to have a date with this guy. Nobody in my circle knows it. I like him because he makes me feel good emotions. And look, maybe I sleep with him and after that we don't see each other again because I don't see him for me in the long term, but that's okay. For the long-term dating, especially your health is going to be something important. If you want a woman who is healthy, who takes care of herself, who goes to the gym, who is fit, then that woman is going to expect the same from you. So then it does matter a bit more if you want to keep a woman long-term with you. But again, I guess in this video, and I've put some images of myself throughout the years. The main point that I want to share with you is that if you're in a point where you're thinking of changing your look massively and, buying all these hair gels and all these shiny objects because you think that it's going to help you with women, look, if you want to test it out for yourself, then test it out. But I'll tell you that in my experience, it doesn't make too much of a difference. At least the things that you can control. Like, I haven't tested myself. Okay, how would it be if I was Asian? I cannot test that. I cannot test how would it be if I was instead of 183 centimeters, instead of being 6 feet tall, if I was 5 feet tall. I haven't tested this. But the things that you can control as a man, it's not going to have a huge difference, only if you're in some extreme case. So just focus on going out there, meeting women that you like, learning cold approach, learning communication skills, understanding their psychology, bettering your mindset so that you can deal with the situations in a better way. So if she doesn't text, you can deal with it better. If she says something in a date that is kind of like shocking, you can deal with it better. If she asks you a certain question, you can deal with it better. If she rejects you, you can deal with it better. If she wants to be with you, you can deal with it better. So work on everything that's going to give you the 80% of results, and then your look is going to be an afterthought and something like fun. Look, I'll tell you, like, the reason why I decided to do long hair is because I literally wanted to try it out as something fun. Not that I thought, oh, I'm going to have long hair and I'm going to attract women. I didn't even think about that. I knew that I would attract women no matter my look. Because I know, like, I have proven this to myself. I just go out there, if I'm single, I approach women. Some of them are not going to be attracted to me at all. Some of them are going to be super attracted to me. And I just focus on those, choose one that I really like and enjoy from those that are attracted to me, and then just start something together with her. And it doesn't matter the look you have. And look, if you're thinking, okay, Armin, but what if I'm in some extreme, I'm like super short? Okay, you're just gonna talk to more women. That's it, And I don't even want to put this as a limiting belief to you. Like, I wouldn't even think about whether I'm short or not, whether I'm this or that, if I have a certain facial feature or not. For example, when I was younger as well, I always thought that my nose was very big. I'm Armenian, so we have big noses. And it was something that was in my mind, like, oh my God, I have a big nose, and my eye structure. I was looking at that and trying to do this looks maxing. There's this whole community out there which is like, okay, just maximize your looks with these things. Just do mewing so your jaw is more pronounced and all these things that I thought would be important. And then I just go out there, meet women, and see that, okay, I'm going to attract them. I'm going to attract women. I'm not going to say the same ones, but I'm just going to attract women, whether if I have one look or another. Maybe they're not the same women. Like, maybe when I had a shaved head and I tried to look super dangerous and this super masculine alpha, then I would attract a certain type of women, and now I attract another type of women. But both of them are good, and both of them have the qualities that I want. So if I want a woman who is feminine, who has this certain type of characteristics, is healthy, is that boom, 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 like your characteristics that you need in a woman, you're going to be able to attract her whether you have one look or another. So that's the conclusion. And as I was saying, focus on developing the skills. If you want help developing those skills of learning how to cold approach, learning how to date, learning how to create natural attraction with your emotional buttons, which is something that I've coined and it's something super powerful, then you can go to my website, armingoribian.com, and you'll see a case study, a free one, where you can see exactly how this works and how you can go out there and start attracting women that you like naturally thanks to learning these concepts. Then in the end, if you want, you can book a call with me and we'll speak together to see if it's a good fit for us to work to help you in your dating life. That being said, it's been a pleasure being with you here, and I'll see you in the next video.